Hare Krishna. So why the Hare Krishnas don't believe in nationality, borders, and boundaries? Because ours is a very individualistic philosophy in relationship with the Lord, in relationship to Krishna, and we may be born in any country. Today, somebody may be an Indian, somebody may be a Pakistani, somebody may be an American, saying that we are Indians, we are Americans, we are Canadians, we are Chinese, we are Japanese, Koreans, Africans, Australians, could be anybody living in any part of the world, could be in anybody. See, nationality we human beings have created. For animals, there is no nationality, right? They don't have a concept of nationality. So, borders are created by human beings, and you see the borders are increasing only. Even within countries also, countries are fighting. For example, Taiwan took its independence from China. China took its independence from somebody else. India, Pakistan were one. British ruled, and then we got our independence, and now both the nations are fighting. Then Iran, Iraq, I mean, the Middle East is whole sunk into differences. So you see, peace, we can never arrive at a peaceful consensus till we understand this fundamental philosophy of our relationship with the Lord. That is why whatever steps governments individually for their particular nations or together internationally, if they want to come up with a peace, consensus on peace, they can never do that, for the sole reason that the fundamental understanding of life and living is incorrect. So all what we do is, like, we associate even our nationality just with the body. Yes, it is there that geographically where we are living, because the physicality of the place is different, which is why our features are different, the way we look is different, our complexion is different, all of these things are there, right? So, but that is just the physical aspect of it. It has nothing to do with we as people. People means we as souls. So we are souls and not these bodies, right? So when we die, people will say, oh, take the body. People will even forget to say oh, take the body, they say, take the body, take the body to the crematorium, right? So even the language changes when we die. I'm a past life PLR therapist and energy reader, and also, even if I were not, even then I understood, earlier also, I understood, and I would have understood also, even if I were not a PLR therapist. So, oh, by the way, but that doctor is not because I'm a PLR therapist. That is my professional, this one, for a PhD degree that I got long ago. Okay, so anyway, that's besides the point. So where were we? Yeah, I was telling. So we say, so we are souls and not these bodies, and all the designations and the labels that we give is to the body and not to the soul. So the soul is ageless. So the soul is, it cannot be cut. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord gives us explains to Arjuna the various characteristics of the soul, that you cannot burn it, you cannot cut it, you cannot do anything with the soul, because the soul is the purest form in which we exist. And when we try to find that purity of ourselves, when we try to figure it out, that who exactly we are, who is Lord, and what is our lost relationship with the Lord, it's then that we can understand that today I may be born an Indian, right? Soldiers, that is why we preach soldiers also, because soldiers are the people who are fighting, okay, the battle. And oh my God, the whole world is in battle, and there cannot be a better time than this to preach the tenets of the Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita was spoken in the battlefield. And And Arjuna was not ready to fight because he had to fight his own relatives and friends standing on the other side, and there were people with them as well on his side. But then it was so difficult. So when the soldiers fight, their consciousness is, I have to kill the enemy, I have to kill, somebody, a Chinese may think that I have to kill an Indian soldier, an Indian soldier may think that I have to kill a Chinese soldier. Pakistan versus India as well, or any other country for that matter. But in Bhagavad Gita it is written that the consciousness in which we die, we get the same type of body in the next birth. And there are cases and cases, past life cases filled, where we find that people are born in a totally different country, following a totally different religion, a religion against which they had raised their voice in their previous lives. We have cases like that, right? So it's like that. So maybe an Indian soldier, if he dies thinking that, oh, I have to kill the Chinese soldier, next birth you will get the body of a Chinese, and then you will be fighting for China. Okay, and similarly, the Chinese soldier may be thinking, I have to kill that Indian soldier, and he dies thinking of the Indian soldier. Next birth will definitely be in India, and then you will be fighting against China for India. So it's a quagmire of karma. We cannot escape karma. So to cut these karmic cords, we have to chant. We may be in any profession, we may be in any situation of material life, but we have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. No other mantra works like the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the Kali Yuga, because it is written in scriptures, Kali Kale Nam Rupa Krishna Avatara, Nam Hoite Hoya Sarva Jagat Nishtara, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ramaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Gatir Anyatha. There is no other way, but to chant Harinam, 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 Hare Krishna. If we don't do that, we will be just caught up, in this cycle of repeated birth and death, sometimes in this country, sometimes in other countries, sometimes in this body. And if we kill animals, and if we eat too much of non-veg, maybe we will get that particular animal's body next time, and that particular animal will be born like a human being, and he will kill us. And at that time, we will have no other option, because we cannot save ourselves, because that is what we did to the other creature. Which is why we preach no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex or relationship, and no, what did I say? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex or relationship, and no gambling. Okay, so yeah. So meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit, physicality with opposite gender. Oh, sorry. So anything that doesn't have Krishna in the center is illicit. So for that, for a reason, like this, most of the activities that we do in the material world, that is why illicit only, because people are forgetful. Generally people are forgetful of the Lord, and they think that they are the doers without giving any gratitude to the Lord, without thanking the Lord, and without seeing the other person in relationship to the Lord. So what is the perspective of devotees? The devotee perspective is that is why you will see devotees all across, Hare Krishna devotees all across the world, and we don't see any person as as an American, African, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. No. A devotee is a devotee. whether in an Indian body, an American body, a Chinese body, Japanese body, Korean body, African body, Australian body, British body, whatever body the person may be in, man, woman, child, youth doesn't matter, because even see, even in this lifetime you can see the body change, right? You are not the same when as you were a small child. You grow up, yeah, to you, to old age, to you, to child, from childhood to you, to old age. So the body changes, this body is like nothing, like that. Yeah, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna.